Let's be honest, Ansible debugging can be frustrating. We've all been there. But what if you could turn that frustration into a skill? What if you had a system, a whole toolkit, for tackling any error? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build in this explainer.
Ah yes, the infamous wall of red text. You run a playbook, it fails, and you get this, a giant, cryptic blob. Buried somewhere in there is a clue, something about correct access rights, but good luck finding it. It's just a mess, and frankly, it's enough to make you want to walk away.
But hold on, what if I told you, with one tiny change, that wall of text could look like this instead? On the left, we have the chaos we just saw, and on the right, oh yeah, clean, indented, with the actual error message pulled out so you can see it instantly. This isn't some complex hack, it's our very first tool for the toolkit.
So here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by making those errors readable. Then we'll dive into solving those super common SSH mysteries. After that, we'll look at some pre-flight checks you can run before you break something. Then we'll get into debugging inside the playbook itself. And finally, we'll learn how to target our runs with surgical precision.
Okay, first up, let's get that quick win. This is all about making your life easier from the get-go with clear, readable error messages every single time.
So, how do we get that beautiful output? It is shockingly simple. You just open up your ansible.cfg file, you find the default section, and you add one single line. Standard output callback equals debug. That's it. From now on, your errors will be clean, organized, and way less intimidating.
All right, let's add our second tool. This one is for tackling probably the most common headache in all of Ansible, SSH connection failures. You always have to ask, is this actually an Ansible problem, or can I not even talk to the machine in the first place?
Before you start tearing your playbook apart, just check the basics. Is the SSH server even running over there? Is there a firewall in the way? Maybe someone configured it on a non-standard port. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, thinking through these common culprits is going to solve your problem right there.
So here's a systematic way to figure it out. First, use a tool like Netcat just to see if the port is even open. Is anyone listening? If so, great. Next, try to connect manually with SSH in verbose mode, completely outside of Ansible. And if that works, then it's time to see what Ansible is doing by running it with 3 Vs. This shows you the exact command it's trying to use, which you can then copy, paste, and debug yourself. Now, if you are really stuck on a weird connection issue, you can bring out the big guns. Add a 4th V. That VVVV is like telling Ansible, hey, when you run SSH, add the verbose flag to that command too. This gives you the full fire hose of debug output directly from the SSH client itself. It's amazing for those really deep, tricky problems.
Sooner or later, you're going to see this one, the host key verification failed error. It looks terrifying, and it's meant to. It's a security warning. But most of the time, it just means a server was rebuilt and has a new key. Now, don't just disable host key checking. The right way to fix this is to remove the old outdated key from your known hosts file and then scan for the new correct key. Okay, let's get proactive. These next few tools are all about catching mistakes before you even run the playbook. Think of it as your pre-flight checklist. You should really make these flags a habit. -syntax check, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. -list hosts is super useful to confirm which machines are actually about to run this on. And -list tasks will just print out every single task that's about to run. The best part? None of these make any actual changes to your servers. It's a free look.
Oh man, this combo is one of my absolute favorites. The -check flag puts Ansible into a dry run mode. It goes through everything and reports what would have changed, but it doesn't actually do it. And when you pair that with -diff, you get to see the exact line-by-line changes that would be made to your config files. No more surprises.
Okay, so we've checked our connections, we've checked our syntax, now it's time to get a little more advanced. Let's look at some tools for debugging the actual logic inside our playbook while it's running.
Say hello to your new best friend, the debug module. This is basically the classic print statement for Ansible. You can use it to print out a simple message to see if you've reached a certain point, or, and this is where it gets really powerful, you can use it to display the value of any variable at any point in your playbook.
Now here's a quick heads up about a related module, assert. It's awesome for making your playbook fail fast if something isn't right. But here's the trap. You have to remember that you're in the world of Jinja 2 templating, not Python. So if you want to check the length of a list, you can't use the Python len function. You have to use the Jinja 2 length filter just like you see on the right.
And this shows a really brilliant pattern, combining modules to do powerful checks. So in step 1, you use the stat module to get a bunch of information about a file, and you register that result into a variable. Then in step 2, you use assert to check something from that result, for instance, to make absolutely sure that a path is a directory before you try to do something with it.
For those really nasty bugs, Ansible has a full-blown interactive debugger. By adding debugger always to a specific play or task, you are literally telling Ansible, hey, when you get here, just pause execution and give me a command prompt so I can look around and see what's going on.
And once you're inside that debugger prompt, these are your main commands. You can print p, the task's arguments or the contents of any variable. You can even change a variable's value on the fly and then redo r, the failed task, to see if your fix works. Or you can just continue, c, on to the next thing. It is incredibly powerful stuff.
All right, for our final set of tools, let's talk about precision. How do you run just one tiny piece of a massive playbook? Or how do you run the whole thing, but only against a single test server?
Tags are the answer for controlling what runs. You can stick a tag on any task, any role, any play. Then, from the command line, you can use -tags or -skip tags to surgically execute only the specific pieces you're currently working on. This is a massive, massive time saver during development.
Limits, on the other hand, control where the playbook runs. With the -limit flag, you can tell Ansible to run against just a single host from your inventory, or maybe a specific group. This is absolutely perfect for testing a big change on one dev server before you unleash it on all of production.
So, the crucial thing to remember is the difference. Think of it this way. Tags control what runs, which is perfect for development. Limits control where it runs, which is perfect for testing and safe rollouts. Use the right tool for the right job.
And that brings us to the end of our toolkit. I want to leave you with this question. Is all of this just about fixing things when they break? Or is learning how to use these tools effectively actually about building a deeper, more complete understanding of how your automation works? Is debugging just a chore, or could it be the path to mastering your craft?